Hope everyone's projects are coming along. We're getting close to October, so it's crunch time for everybody, I'm sure. That's an exciting time of year though too, because Atmos starts coming out with their new products. So three of them that they released so far, I wanted to do a review kind of focused on how we can use it for projection mapping. And then I think they have at least one more release coming, I believe. So I'll do a review on that when it comes out as well too. But the ones so far this year, one is a video character, which is this Gargoyle guy, which is really cool. And then the others are scenes that they are now selling that have a bunch of different cool effects in it. So let's see if we can grab a couple of those videos from the new release and see what we could do to put it on our house for projection. So with this Gargoyle guy, what I was thinking about was something castle-esque. That makes sense, right? And so I actually took this facade that I put together for a Nightmare Before Christmas show and threw that into PhotoLeap to see what kinds of castle-looking facades we might get. And so here are a few of the ones that I got. And find one of these that we think would look good with Gargoyle. Noticing that sometimes the seam from PhotoLeap doesn't quite line up the way it's supposed to, but that's all right. Kind of like that one. It's got cool stone bricks and moss. Really like that one. It even looks like the roof is caving in. I think I'm probably going to go with that one. Let's go with that one. That one's cool. There are a couple of these others. That would be a good choice too. That one's more autumn. All these would be good, but I think I'm going to go with the one with the vines and see what we can do with that. And so let's throw a Gargoyle on there and shrink him down to fit. Now, one of the things we're going to do with this too to make it more projection mapping friendly is get rid of the black background first. There's different ways that we can do that I've talked about on our channel. What I've been doing lately is using this Luma key, and then it doesn't take much usually to get rid of it. If I just set that to 1, maybe feather the edge a little bit, then we get pretty keyed up pretty good. It might not be perfect, but oh yeah, when it starts to get the ghosts in there, it's a little wonky. So maybe I'll try a little more. Okay, well let's stick with scenes without the ghosts for now then and see how it looks. And I think he will look great perched right up here on the top of my house. I'll do a quick power pin on this to make sure it matches the angle and perspective of my house. Still want them nice and large here, larger than life, so they can be seen really good on the house. Okay, so we got him perched up there on the house. When there's lightning that shows, we could probably do lightning flashing on the house. I think that would look really good. And to make the house congruent with the color scheme that he has, I added an adjustment layer to the house with the lumetri effect. This lumetri effect, the day for night, I use quite a bit. It does a good job making things look dark and spooky, and it matches the Gargoyle really well. Then I'm also going to add some brightness and contrast to the Gargoyle because he'll blend into the background a little too much now. So I want to make sure he can stand out and pop. Maybe a little hue and saturation too. That way we can see him nice and clear. And there we go. A couple minutes. We have a really cool facade that AI did for us in PhotoLeap. And then throw an Atmos effect on there, and that looks really cool. What I'll probably do next is add some lighting of some kind. Let's add a few lights to this for mood. We'll do a point light, which just gives kind of an overall light to it, kind of an ambient light. And then I'm going to add a couple of other spotlights to it so that I can direct attention where I want it. Adjustment layer. Yeah, that way we can really draw attention to our friend the gargoyle and have that come on when he's is moving around. Then I can add these other ones and change the color for them with lightning. I don't want it. There we go. Nothing too fancy here, just basic look and feel. Okay. And a couple minutes, we've got a cool facade. Particularly this part, he has one part where he's got this light shining on him. I think it's part of this. Yeah, right here he's got the light shining on him. That would be fun to use to remind people to turn off their headlights when they're watching your show. And so having this one accompanied with that script, I think we'll probably do that for our show, help remind people. All right, so yeah, let me show you some of the other gargoyle videos though, just so we know what ones we have. That one's really cool. He has a scene where it's kind of like is it Fantasia that has a big demon guy that's summoning ghosts? It's kind of like that. So like this part where it has all the ghosts floating around, we could add other Atmos ghosts floating around the rest of the house. He's got the fire. That's where we could change one of these lights to a red color. Match a little orange. Yeah, you get the idea. We can kind of match the fire with it as we go along. So whatever's happening in the Atmos video, we can just kind of mirror it on the rest of the house. And it makes for a very cool look and feel. The other one that they have, one of the other ones that they have, there's tons of them that the gargoyle comes with, which is awesome. Here, we'll take a look. This is the other one I was thinking of doing for our house because it has some lightning effects when it gets struck by the lightning. Oh no, that's the same one. I grabbed the same one. I'm mistaken. This one. Wondering why that looked the same. I really like that part. Reminds me of Ghostbusters with the ghost dogs. So when he gets hit by lightning, I'd have lightning hit the entire house and spark and crackle all over the whole house. It'd be really cool looking. When it starts to rain, I'd do rain effects on the house. I'll try to finish this one up at least enough that we can project it on the house, and we'll see how it looks. Then some of the other releases that I want to look at next that we could add to the same facade is like there's one that looks like it's inside of a dungeon. And so I think what I'll do is put that, make it look like there's a crack in the wall here and we're looking inside the dungeon, and we can put that scene in there. So let me find those files. Okay, this scene is called Crypt of Creeps. And so it looks like I'm going to brighten that up too so we can see it good. For the projections, I tend to bump up the brightness and contrast a lot since we lose some of it when we put it on the house. Creepy Crypt, that is an apt name for this. Throughout the whole video, you'll get these little demons or vampires kind of popping up in random places. Even one down here in the pit, which for some reason I keep thinking Pippin should be sitting there throwing a rock in the well. So this would be an excellent scene, I think, right in the garage. So let's shrink this down a bit. We're going to put it here on the garage. turn off my adjustment layer so I can see this better for now. There we go. I can see what I'm doing. Get that put right there in the garage. But rather than just pinning it to the wall, let's make it a little more interesting. Let's make it look like the wall's crumbling and then this is showing through. So I'm actually going to put my crypt. I want to keep that nice and bright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pre-comp around. I put it inside a pre-composition, and then I can do my mask on top of that. So I won't do super precise, but let's just make this look like it's kind of a crumbling wall. Like so. And we can feather that edge just a little, not too much, but just to make it not such a harsh edge. And I'm wondering what it would look like with a drop shadow in there. Give it a little depth. Kind of see the depth on here. Probably no one will notice by the time it's on the house, but one of those details I'll notice. There we go. I like that. I like just that little bit of an edge to it. And then turn our adjustment layer back on. Let's turn our gargoyle back on. And that is a pretty cool little scene for just a couple minutes. I think all it needs now is a couple torches on the outside, which I'll probably add really quick. And then we'll render this out and we'll try it on the house tonight. So this one, if I didn't have a stone facade, if I had one of our Haunted Mansion type scenes, then I think I would do this one because then we could look like we're peering inside the mansion. So I'll see if I have a facade. In fact, I might have a facade handy. Let's check real quick. So that one might work well. And I can shrink that down and put it on the house. Like we can do something very similar to what we did for the crypt here. Let's copy those properties over. As well as the power pin. And then we'll recomp that. Copy the mask. And there, now we got a haunted house one. Turn off these ones behind there. Once again, quick and simple way to take a facade that you might already have or that you're generating with AI, and then add some of these AtmosFX. And a lot of times I'll use the standalone ones and mask out the background, but scenes like this are cool because they add that extra background. They add the layers, the cool effects that you can get. So, as usual, well done, Atmos. Looking forward to the next release. These are really fun, and you can see some of the familiar characters in here. You've got the twins in there, and so if you already have some of those sets, you could complement it with these background scenes. I think that's Macabre family there. So I'll get some video of how this stuff looks on the house. All right, here's how it looks on the house. I don't have my blinds closed so we can see, and the windows is good, but that's all right. There's the gargoyle. I ended up doing one of the versions of the gargoyle with the background behind it instead of trying to remove the black background. So it is what it is. Looks pretty cool. And there's someone's headlights shining on them, so it reminds all of us to turn off our headlights. There you go, and the vines look really cool. So that's PhotoLeap vines, PhotoLeap facade. Looks real, doesn't it? Looks like it's got some 3D depth to it. That's pretty cool. And then here's the crypt. So well done, Atmos. Got the 2 latest effects on the house here. So let's try the other one that looks more like a haunted house. This one's got kind of our traditional facade that we use for Baird Manor and a bunch of other haunted house themed shows. So I actually just reused one of those facades. Then using the other Atmos one, this is the Haunted Halls. I'll have to look what it's called, I can't remember for sure. What's great about it right now is I can't tell that that's a garage at all. It totally just looks like a hole in the side of the house with spooky ghosts. So, looks cool. I'm excited to try the other stuff coming out this year from Atmos.